welcome to the first video that is not a diary of a PT student, but diary of a DPT, because this is now officially my actual studying for the NPTE video. Because if you saw my, I think I called it preparing for the NPTE, was supposed to be my studying video because I was originally supposed to take the NPTE in July. It is September now, and I had to reschedule my exam for October. So if you want to know what happened with all of that drama, I'll put that other video down in the description below because it was a wild time, and I'll probably reference things that happened at some point in this video. So if you want to be updated and catched up on all of that, make sure you watch that video. But for this one, like I said, this is going to be my actual studying for the NPTE. So the reason why I'm making this intro now is because I am about to take a practice exam. So I have not taken a practice exam since June, I believe. And my last practice exam was the Scorebuilders, and I got like a 53.5% on it, which is like one of my higher scores. So today I'm going to be taking my second therapy ed, and my first therapy ed, I think I got, I don't know, a 51, 52%. I'll put what my like scores have been because I can't remember them off the top of my head. So I'll go check and I'll put what my previous scores have been and like when I took them, so that you kind of have a reference and, you know, I have a reference. I'm on campus. I got here a little bit early. Originally, I wanted to get here at 8:30 and it's like almost 9, but like it's fine. I didn't want to like have to like rush too much, but eventually like I do want to take like a what's the thing I'm trying to think of? The reason why I come to campus is because like I'm trying to like relatively simulate like, you know, having to get up and make breakfast and drive to the test center and things like that. So originally I was trying to do it by 8:30 because that's when my exam date, or that's when my test, the time for my test is at 8:30. So I was trying to like simulate that. I cannot speak right now, I'm so sorry. Then like my fiance was like, you know, wanted to spend time with me, and he was sad that I was leaving, and so I was like, you know, spend a couple minutes with him. So it's not that big of a deal. But I got to campus a bit earlier than expected, so I did have to make a clip for a different video. So if you see me in the same outfit in another video, that's why. But I am finishing my breakfast. I had one of these, the pumpkin spice. It's probably not gonna, whatever. Belvitas, they're really good. And then just some like super coffees that I've been drinking. So I am trying to like not change any of like my eating habits or anything. So like, you know, I'm used to drinking, you know, caffeine in the morning and whatever. So like I'm gonna still continue to do that because I feel like if I try to not drink caffeine like before the exam, then like I don't want to like have a headache. Which, speaking of headaches, I did actually have a little bit of a headache when I woke up this morning. I did take some ibuprofen just to be on the safe side. So hopefully that doesn't affect my test at all, because I really like, that would suck. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm just gonna finish this. I have a little bit left, and then like, you know, go to the bathroom and get all my stuff set up and then take the test. So let's see how it goes. Okay, well, this is awkward. I got into the library, but my badge doesn't work anymore. So I couldn't get into the building, so I was waiting outside, trying to figure out what to do. And luckily somebody like came in, and I was like, hey, my badge isn't working, can I come in with you? And so he let me in, and then I was going up to the library. I took the elevator, and then I was like, crap, I can't get So despite the minor mishap that happened, I took the exam and I took my little screen record that I'll put right here of my score. So I got a 60%, which, if you have seen my scores, which I just reviewed, so that's an 8% increase from my last therapy ed score. It's only like a 7-something increase from my Scorebuilders, because that was the one that I took prior to this. But I think, if I remember correctly, therapy ed is supposed to be a little bit harder than Scorebuilders. So that's why, like, I keep switching, like, back and forth just to get, like, a difference in, like, material, I guess. But, like, I try not to compare, like, my therapy ed score to my Scorebuilders score, even though they haven't been, like, that much of a difference, honestly. But, so compared to my last, like, actual therapy ed score, I got an 8% increase, which is actually, like, I think really good, especially for the fact that I haven't, like, really, like, been studying, like, the big three, so musculoskeletal, neuromuscular, and cardiopulmonary are, like, the big three. What I've been doing is I started, like, opposite. So I started with non-systems, and then I'm just about to finish other systems. So that's what I've been going through, because I figured, like, I wanted to do the big three, like, closer to my test date. So I, like, am gonna start probably cardiopulm. I'm, like, on the last peak of non-systems. So I guess I didn't really explain this very well, but I've been using Scorebuilders Basecamp as, like, my studying. So when I'm at work, I read over the section that corresponds to whatever peak it is. So they do it based on mountains, so there's, like, different peaks. So I finished all of non-systems, and like I said, I'm going through other systems right now. I just have peak 5 left, which has, like, a bunch of stuff in it, and I still have to read some of the stuff. That's what I'm on. And then I'll do the same thing for the other, like, big 3. And then once a week, I've been getting together with my buddy who's in the class below me. She's in clinicals right now, but they're trying to take the October exam. So how I said, I was going to reference kind of what happened to me. So they also are having problems registering for the exam. So, because I told her, like, when everything happened to me, I was like, hey, you need to register, like, right now. Like, if you're trying to take October, you need to register, like, sooner rather than later, and blah, 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 blah. Like, I was trying to, like, give her advice so that she didn't have to go through what I went through. And they are still having, like, so many problems. And it's, like, basically their whole class, like, most of which I think are trying to take the October exam, because obviously, like, you'd rather take the exam earlier so that once you graduate, you can start working right away because you'll get licensed. Otherwise, with them, they have to wait until the January exam, and they graduate in December. So it's not as bad as with me. Like, I literally have to wait, like, 3 months to take my exam. So they only have to wait, like, a month and a half, 6 weeks or so. If they have to wait till January, but it'd just be, like, a lot nicer if you don't. So if you can take it early, like, you might as well. And then if you don't pass, then you can take January, and it's not a big deal. Just feel bad for them that they're still having to go through all of these hoops that I went through, like trying to get their letter and, you know, schedule their test and everything. And they only have another, like, I think 10 days. I think they have to register by, like, September 28th, and it's September 18th today. So, like, their whole class is freaking out. So, like, I feel really bad for them, and I hope that it all gets figured out and they can do it and no harm, no foul, but we'll see. I'll try and keep you updated on their situation, just because why not? But anyway, long story long, basically, I am really happy about my 8% increase, because I think for not, like, really studying, like, a majority of what's on the test, I did, like, really well. So what I'm going to do next is, like, actually go through my exam and see what I got wrong and kind of reason through it. Like, I went through like the first question just to like see, and it was about like behavioral therapy, and like I got it wrong because I like didn't understand like the first like answer choice, which was the correct answer. Like, to me, what I read wasn't like what I thought it meant. So I'm gonna try to like insert, like, maybe the next clip will be me like going over the test and like seeing why I got the ones wrong that I got wrong, whether if it was like I literally just didn't know or didn't understand it or things like that. Because I also have been having a couple calls with a member from the PT Hustle. So they're like one of those, you know, studying programs or whatever. I listen to, so it's Coach K is Kyle Rice. It's his coaching program is the PT Hustle. So like I went through all of his podcasts is the NPTE clinical files. And then there's another one called PT Final Frontier, and I went through their entire podcast. And then now I'm doing PT Final Exam, their podcast, and they also have like a study material. I have some of their modules that I bought like last year that go over like lymphatics and integumentary and gait and something else, I think. So I bought like their like mini course bundle. I did buy some exams from them as well, but then they expired because you only have access to them for 6 months, which I didn't know. And then they wanted me to buy them for like $50, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. So I'm just sticking with the ones that I have that don't expire. And also my PET, which is what I had to take for comps, is a retired NPTE, so it's a PET exam, which I don't remember what that stands for, but my program bought 2 of them, so I took one for my comps, and then I was supposed to have a second one, but you also apparently only have that access for 6 months, so that expired, and I don't have access to that anymore, which I'm really sad about, because the PET is like the most accurate to tell you if you're going to pass the NPTE, which is why they have us take it for comps, because you have to pass with a 550 to go to clinicals, but you have to pass with the 600 to like say that you would pass the NPTE, if that makes sense. So anyway, it's a whole complicated thing. PT school is rough. I'm trying not to touch my eyebrows because I'm so used to rubbing them, and I got them microbladed last week and a half ago. So that was my other video that I was doing. Side note. Anyway, all right, I think that's enough ranting. I feel like this totally was like a ramble and didn't really make sense, so hopefully it does. But if you have any questions about any PT school stuff, you can always like comment below and I can always check comments, or you can send me a message on my Instagram, which is now changed. It's Dr. Anna C. Watson. So it used to just be at Anna C. Watson, and now it's Dr. Anna C. Watson. So just so you know, continue to watch, you know, the rest of this video because this isn't the end, and I will catch you later. Thanks for being here. All right, everyone. So today my plans kind of got a little derailed. I was supposed to study with my buddy today, as we have been like at least once a week for the last like few months. She had some personal stuff come up, so we decided to reschedule, so we are not studying today. So I decided that I am just going to go over my own practice questions from my practice test that I just took. So I'm not exactly sure how I want to like incorporate that into this video, because I feel like it's probably going to be pretty boring for whoever's watching this for me to just like go over all the questions. So maybe if there's some that, you know, are worth discussing, I will will discuss them. But other than that, that's pretty much my plan for today. In my studies, I have finished non-systems and I just finished other systems, and I will be starting cardiopulmonary. I was supposed to do that yesterday when, like, that was what I was going to start when I was at work, but we had our truck shipment on Friday and it was a lot of clothes, which is like what I have to deal with. So I had to do that Friday and Saturday, and I'm off today. It's Sunday, and then tomorrow I actually close, so I'll probably study like during the day, and then depending on what we still have as far as clothing, I might have to still do that at work. So we'll see how it goes with my studying at work situation. So anyway, that's the plan for today. So study, study, study. Okay, I'm jumping in here because I found a question that I'm mad about. The question is, like, I mean, if you don't know PT, you probably won't understand, but whatever, I'm gonna tell you anyway. So, patient has chief complaint of pain and swelling near the base of the thumb and the lateral aspect of the wrist. Condition is aggravated with grasping and pinching. The therapist suspects de Quervain's tenosynovitis. What special test is best to rule out the disorder? So we learned in school, Finkelstein's test is like the one you do this. Like, that one is for de Quervain's tenosynovitis. And then, so that's the question that the answer that I put, and it's wrong because this says the what test, which is wrist hyperabduction test, which I was like, I've never even heard of that before, so I have no idea what that is. And that's the answer. And it says that it's a relatively new test and less popular than Finkelstein's and Akoff's tests. I'm annoyed because their reference is from a like article in the Journal of Hand Surgery from 2014. So I don't know. I'm mad because this says Finkelstein's test is the most popular test for de Quervain's tenosynovitis, but it has low sensitivity compared to the Watt test. But like, I've never even heard of the Watt test. Like, anyway, I'm annoyed. Okay, moving on. Again, because I remember this question and I spent so much time trying to figure it out because it's about Trendelenburg sign and I mess up Trendelenburg like all the time. So like, it's one of those questions where it has like the right side or the left side, and like the right foot when it's off the ground or the left foot's off the ground, and each answer is like a mix match of each of those. And I was like spending so much time on it and I got it wrong, obviously. So okay, so this says, because I know that Trendelenburg is for glute med weakness, and it's like, but then I was like trying to decide, I'm like, okay, is it glute med weakness on the stance leg or the like contralateral leg? That's what I always mix up every time. Okay, So this says, when body weight is supported on one limb, the glute med contracts to help maintain the pelvis in a level position. If the muscle is sufficiently weak, it fails to provide lateral stabilization of the pelvis, and the pelvis drops on the opposite side. So weakness of the muscle can occur due to disuse, superior gluteal nerve lesion, or L4, L5 nerve root problem. Okay, so the correct answer is the left side of the pelvis dropped when the left foot was lifted off the ground. And this says, the question says that there is a deep laceration of the right butt. During the standing portion of the physical exam, the therapist observes a positive Trendelenburg sign. So, if the right side is the weak side, okay, so this is my right, this is my left. So the right side is weak. The left side, the contralateral side will drop when the weak side is in stance. Yes. So the weak side is standing, so the opposite side will drop. Hopefully I can remember that, because I always mess it up. Okay. Okay, so I have quite a bit more to go, but I'm gonna take a little break because I'm like running out of steam. I can only like do one thing for so long, and it's been like about an hour. So I'm gonna take a little break, mental break. But as of right now, pretty much what I've determined is a lot of the questions is like, I think I just like read them too fast, or like I was focusing too much on the time, because like if I had like read it and like understood it better, I probably would have gotten it right. Because some of them, like when I read the description, I was like, yeah, like that makes sense. And I was like, why did I choose whatever question I chose or answer I chose? And like, because the one thing about with the practice test is that it's only 200 questions versus the 250. So like usually you try, because you would have 5 hours for the 250, so I have approximately 4 hours for like the 200. And I think I did this, it should tell me. Okay, I did do it in 3 hours and 56 minutes. So like I wouldn't have had that much more time to do it. So I think that's one thing that I need to like keep in mind, is like how much time I'm spending on questions and like really like reading them, because I feel like some of them like I could have gotten right. There obviously have been a few where like I really didn't understand like what it was asking, or like I hadn't studied that, so I didn't know the material. Like there have been some like that, but for the most part I think it's like just been like test taking error type of deal. So that's good. I still did really good on this exam compared to my other ones. So I'm still really proud of myself, and I'm just gonna keep studying. We've got about, I think, 32 days until the exam. So plenty of time. We've got like a whole month. So I am probably gonna leave off of me like going over this. When I get to the end, maybe I'll put in a little clip, but yeah, I will kind of end my little studying thing here for now. So until next time. All right. Hello, it has been a little while since I have made a clip for this video. Obviously, you will not know that because you're just watching it, but it is the day before test day. So I am actually doing a trial run, not like an actual trial run, which apparently you can do, which I found out the other day. Like you can pay $30 and like go to the test center and like go through like kind of the whole process and then like take like a couple questions, and I was like, I'm not paying $30 for that. So I'm just doing my own kind of like mini trial run. So I'm driving to the test center so that I know where it is for tomorrow. So I'm not like stressing out about like where I'm going or whatever. Of course, in typical Anna fashion, I was like trying to do it for my actual test, and my test is at 8:30 and it's 8:19. So that's why I'm doing this the day before, so that tomorrow I literally am gonna leave like an hour beforehand, and I'm gonna set like 1,000 alarms because I am terrified that I'm not gonna wake up in time. Because if you watch some of my other videos, that's what happened with my last neuro final. I literally woke up late because, well, I didn't wake up late. I thought that my test was at 9 because that's when we normally have class, but my final was at 8. So definitely don't want a repeat of that, especially for the NPTE, because I'm already trying to not be a stress bucket. So anyway, I just wanted to make a quick little clip. I know I'm like late for my little trial, but it's not that big of a deal. I just kind of want to like just know where the test center is. And then, yeah, I just plan on leaving like literally an hour before, just in case, because you never know. But yeah, so my car's warming up, so I just wanted to make a little clip for now, and then yeah, test day is almost here. I'm gonna make a clip kind of probably after to kind of give you guys a little update on my studying tactics, things like that. So once I go to the test center and kind of figure all that stuff out, I will talk to you guys in a second. So BRB. All right, so we came, we saw, we conquered. So I'll put up my little like overshadow of the building that I just took. So yeah, I parked on the top of the like parking garage, because luckily the testing center like sent me like directions, so like driving directions, like what I need, like where to park. So I was like, thank goodness, because you know, I hate when you're like, what do I do, where do I park, I don't know. Obviously, like it's a day before, so I'm assuming tomorrow, because there's gonna be more people taking the test, that it's gonna be like a lot busier, because like there's a lot of like empty spaces. Like that's why I want to get here early, so that I know that there's enough room. But yeah, went downstairs, went into the building, so I know which suite the Prometric Center is. I went and like saw where the bathrooms are, which I guess you need a key because the door didn't open. So but yeah, we're almost here. Okay, so just a little rundown of how studying has been going since the last clip that I made, because I just reviewed it and now I can't remember. I think I had just taken my other practice exam, which I think that was a TherapyEd one. I'll put my things here again. I know it was in here earlier, but there is an addition because I just took my last practice exam before the test, because they say to take your last practice exam like 7 to 10 days before, and I took it like last Wednesday, which would be 7 days before my exam, and I got a 67%, which is a 7% increase compared to TherapyEd, I think, but like a 10% increase compared to my last Scorebuilders, something like that. Like, it was like a pretty good jump, which I'm like, was really proud of. My buddy that I've been studying with this whole time, she also took her practice exam, and then we like reviewed it together, and she got like a 70. So we got like around the same, and she usually does a lot better than I do. I was only 3% behind her, which I will like, actually, I was like, that's really good for me. So I'm not too worried about it. And I hadn't really gone over, I'm still going over neuro. So I wasn't going to study today, but I have like 2 more peaks of neuro that I need to go over for Scorebuilders, and then I'll be like literally have done like all the peaks. So I am going to do that today. And then another thing, I don't think I mentioned because I hadn't done it yet, but I signed up for the PT final exam crash course. So they do it 3 weeks before exams, and it goes over like the big 3 systems. So musculoskeletal, neuro, and cardiopulm. And they do like interventions, differential diagnosis, examination, differential diagnosis, interventions, and then like practice questions. And so I've been doing that. We'll see if they've been helpful. Some of them have, and some of them haven't really. But they also did a brain dump session yesterday, and so I'm gonna watch the recording for that today, because that's what I wanted to mostly focus on today, is just like going over like the things that I want to put on my brain dump that like I get like, you know, mixed up on. And so I want to make sure that I like have something to like reference right at the beginning of my test. So that's kind of my plan for today. But first, I'm actually going to call this spa and see if they can get me in for a massage, because my friend gave me a like gift card to this place to get a massage when I had like my party for when I graduated, and I've never gotten an actual massage like ever in my life. And I tried booking an appointment online, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I'm just gonna call them, or I was just gonna like show up, but I figured I should call first. But because the Prometric Center that I'm at is on Camelback, and there's this spa, there's one also on Camelback. So I was like, perfect, if they can get me in and I can get a massage, then cool. If not, it's not a big deal, and I'll just go back home and do a little bit of studying, but I'm trying not to like, you know, really do that much today. But yeah, that's been pretty much my study plan for the last, you know, few weeks or whatever. So yeah, I've still been doing like the Scorebuilders and then doing like Basecamp. So doing that, covered it all, and we're actually about to do this thing. It's crazy. I have been waiting for this for so long, and it's like finally here, and it doesn't even feel like it. Like October just flew by. Like, it's crazy. Like, my birthday is in 2 days, in case anybody was wondering, and I was like, I don't even feel like it. So hopefully I will after the test, and then we can, you know, celebrate, because I took the rest of the week off from work. So because I was like, today I wanted to, you know, just chill. Tomorrow's obviously my test, Thursday's my birthday, and then I was like, well, might as well just take the rest of the weekend off too, because why not? I'm getting my eyebrows my touch-up for microblading on Friday. And then I'm doing a like birthday / NPTE party Friday night. And then I might try and do like a spooky movie night with one of my friends and watch Hocus Pocus 2 because I haven't watched it yet. And yeah, so we are gonna have a great weekend. I know this video is already like probably long enough. I think it's over 30 minutes with these additional clips that I've just put in. So we'll see if I end up making a second part for this, for actual like NPTE and like getting my score. And so we'll see, because I might leave you off on a cliffhanger here and you'll have to watch the next one to see whether I pass. So we'll see. But if I do that, make sure that you watch so that you know. And thanks for watching these videos. And I'm gonna do my little YouTube spiel. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things, because I'm just a little baby YouTube channel that, is just in this small little corner of YouTube. So if you like my content, then I would appreciate it if you liked it. Like, actually liked it, Anyway, okay, I'm gonna go now. So I will catch you guys all later. So my plan completely backfired, and instead of getting a massage to relax, I had a mental breakdown instead. Love that for me. So I'm gonna keep these sunglasses on because my eyes are like super red and puffy because I just had like a crying fit for a while. So needless to say, I think I am more stressed than I thought I was, which is understandable because this is a giant freaking test that, is gonna determine my future. So, no big deal or anything. But yeah, I ended up calling the wrong location for the massage. And so the one I was trying to go to was like, a few miles from the test center. And I ended up calling one that was like somewhere else. I don't even know exactly. And so when I got to the one that I was trying to schedule, I went in there, and because I called and made an appointment literally like an hour before. And so they're like, oh, I don't have you down. And I was like, oh, okay. So they sent me to the spa, and then the spa didn't have me down. And so I was like, I just called like an hour ago. So I don't know. And she was like, did you call this number? And I was like, no. And I was like, who the heck did I call then? So then I had to figure out who I called. And so I finally figured out that I called the wrong place. And I didn't know that it was the same company. I just called the wrong location. And so then I called the correct location or the location that I made the actual appointment, and was like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like, I call the wrong place. So like, I'm not going to be able to make it for my 10:15. And she was like, we have a 12-hour cancellation policy. And I was like, what? Like, I just made the appointment an hour ago. I was like, are you serious? And so she's like, yeah, so there's gonna be a small fee associated with that. And I was like, how much is the fee? And she's like, 50% off the service, or 50% of the service. And I was like, are you serious? And she's like, well, I guess since you didn't know, we can waive it this time, but for next time, just so you know. And I was like, okay, thank you. And then like, I was already getting like teary-eyed. I'm gonna try not to like lose my shit again. But yeah, so that basically set me off, because I was like, I don't have, like, the whole purpose of me getting a massage is because my friend gave me the gift card. And so if I had to pay 50%, I was like, So upset, obviously. And then I think that just like set me off. So I was like outside at the health club, like when I made the call, and then I literally had to sit out there for, I don't even know how long I was out there, and I was just crying. God damn it. And like, I don't really know why, because like she waived it, which was nice, so like I didn't have to pay for it, but I just like felt so stupid. And then I went back in the health center because I was like, well, I'm gonna go find the bathroom and like clean up and everything. And I've never been to a spa before. And so I like had a hard time finding where the place was. Obviously, like I had been crying, so I like was wearing my sunglasses so that like people couldn't tell, and I was wearing them like inside. I finally found like the locker room. This place is like super fancy, and so I finally found like a bathroom and like, you know, get myself collected and whatever. And then I don't know, I just felt like so out of place and just so stupid. I don't even know why I'm even making a clip for this, but yeah. And then, yeah, I just started like, just, you know, every little thing made me cry. So like freaking out about this stupid test. So yeah, my plan to relax is not going very well. So I just went and got gas because I was on like a quarter of a tank, and so, you know, I wanted to make sure obviously like I had like a full tank of gas. And I got a Reese's Fast Break because I wanted chocolate, and so I got that. I'm at my apartment complex because I didn't want to make this clip while I was in my car at the health club, because I didn't want to start crying and then like have to calm down and drive all the way home. So I'm in front of my apartment now, so I'm gonna go inside and watch the season finale of House of the Dragon and just kind of just chill for a little bit and see what the rest of the day brings me and try not to freak out. So on that note, I'm gonna end this video here. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see what happens next, and hopefully I pass. Otherwise, you know, we're just gonna cross that bridge when it comes. It's fine. So yep, okay, toodles.